G'day viewers. Well, the second US presidential debate was today. Being an Australian, I was at work when it happened, so I couldn't watch it on TV, though I did have my Twitter stream going on, so I got a pretty good idea of what the big moments were, like, ooh, no handshake at the start, which, good move. You don't know where Trump's hands are. Well, you do know where Trump likes to put his hands, where other people aren't very welcoming, so yeah, why would you shake hands with him? But there was no real major thing as far as I was concerned. It's incredibly humorous to see Trump apologists go, well, it wasn't a knockout punch, so that's as good as a win. It's like they are basically saying, so long as Trump doesn't shit himself, then smear it all over his face and throw it at the audience, that's a win. The bar is so low for him, it's bizarre. And I think this was typified by, after the debate, female staffer of Trump's who said, well, I don't think Trump can be a rapist because I've been alone with him multiple times and he's never sexually assaulted me. That's a fabulous definition. Like, you can't be a rapist unless you rape each and every woman you're ever alone with. It's like, you can't call me a bank robber if I've ever walked into a bank and not robbed it. You can't say I've used drugs because there are some drugs I haven't used, therefore I've never used drugs. It's absolutely brilliant. But the main point I want to make tonight is that the rest of the world, and I think Australia is particularly guilty of this, the rest of the world should not be so smug when looking at Trump, because he's not the only fuckwit in politics, and I don't even think he's the worst. He's got a few cheerleaders in the Australian government, and they're just awful. I think they're worse than Trump. One, Eric Abetz, I've mentioned a few times, springs up, the big L Liberal Party senator from Tasmania. I periodically have to explain to the rest of the world the Liberal Party is the Conservative Party in Australia. I know, words are weird, they change meaning. So, he's a senator and he's an ultra-conservative Christian whack job. I'm not saying Christians are whack jobs, the vast majority aren't. I'm saying he's a whack job. And his big problem at the moment, he's campaigning against any idea of marriage equality in Australia, and his big brainwave, some would say brain fart, but no, this was more than a fart. This was a breeze that came out of his ears. And he said, you know how you can prove there's bias against decent heterosexual people? There's no celebration of when someone goes from homosexual to heterosexual. See, if someone's been brought up heterosexual, but then they declare they're homosexual, it's celebrated. They're coming out. Why aren't people celebrated when they go from homosexual to heterosexual? Well, Eric, and I'm just sort of going out on a limb here, but I think possibly the first reason is because that's not a thing. See, when someone comes out, they're basically saying they felt, for whatever reason or combination of reasons, they weren't able to be themselves their whole life. Their family, society, their own doubts repressed them for years until they were finally able to accept themselves and be happy. The idea that someone's coerced from birth into being gay and all of society tells them that's the right way to be and we might tolerate the straights but they're the aberration, that doesn't happen. That isn't real. But if, for whatever reason, somebody who had always declared themselves to be gay at some point in their life said, I think I was wrong all along. All that same-sex attraction was not even real. I'm actually attracted to the opposite gender. That would be fine. I have so much trouble conceiving it. With bisexual people, someone who has a same-gender partner when they're bisexual, who then ends up with an opposite gender partner and actually never has a same-gender partner again, that's a thing that happens. That person's still bisexual, but they may never have a same-gender partner again. It happens. See, the thing is, Eric, the thing you say is not real. That is a not real thing. And I have to explain this very slowly to Eric. You might think I'm being condescending, but you have no idea how much of a whack job he is. I actually have some stuff I'm going to have to read because it's so involved. I couldn't commit it to memory. But this is a group he supports. Abetz supports a group called the Bible League, that they believe that Christianity can cure mental illness. They think they can convert Muslims to Christianity, that they can end demonic possession. Not a thing. Only happens in movies. And they can end terrorism with their teachings. And look, if you want to do stuff that makes no sense whatsoever, that's up to you. So long as you're turning someone from homosexual to heterosexual doesn't involve the gay conversion therapy, which is torture, literal torture that causes suicide as much as anything. No, that's unacceptable. You can't do that. And, you know, if you actually want to have your exorcisms where you physically punish people who have some sort of profound mental illness, that's also unacceptable. That's also resulted in deaths. Those I won't accept. But hey, if you want to go off and find some Muslim extremists who think terrorism is the way to go and say, I've got something you haven't considered, the Christian Bible, I say you go right ahead and do that. If you think I'm exaggerating how bizarre this group's teaching is, they have a testimonial video of a young woman who was cured of her lifelong depression and anxiety by scripture in 1.5 weeks. Now, here's the thing. Somebody who has some mental health issues can be helped by a supportive environment. And a lot, if not most, Christian environments are very supportive and could well be a very strong help to someone with mental health issues and could very much be an integral part of their recovery. But the idiocy of saying someone with serious mental health issues can be cured forever in 1.5 weeks by reading scriptures because it's not mental health, it's the demons. That's what's doing it. See, that's fucking stupid. I don't like to mince words on things like that. It's not a different belief. It's not their own way. It's fucking stupid. So yeah, I honestly don't think Donald Trump's the worst politician in the world. Now, of course, Eric Abetz and Corey Bernardi and George Christensen aren't actually running the country, but they have an awful amount of influence on the direction of the government. It's absolutely disgusting how much control they have over Malcolm Turnbull. And when some of these people's primary beliefs are, oh, I can cure you with a scripture. Ooh, demonic possession. That's a thing. And I'm going to stop terrorism with the Bible. On that last one in particular, if there's somewhere where I can donate to send all of these people to, say, the hottest war zone in Syria with their scripture to convert everyone and stop the terrorism, tell me where to donate and I'm there so they're all gone.